we go again.
Welcome back to another episode of Platinum PUSSY, where we go from self doubt to self worth and build confidence from the bedroom to the boardroom. Today, we're talking about burnout, the slow death of your joy, your energy, your creativity, and your PUSSY power. I don't know how long I can maintain not saying the word because it's really difficult, but I'm gonna try it for at least a couple of episodes. So, I want to talk about burnout because I've been feeling a little bit of burnout lately, which is why I'm recording this episode for you on my couch in my sweats, and there's no video because honestly, I am not safe to be seen right now. I also just got micro needling on my face, which I swear by. It is the fountain of youth. Micro needling plus PRP is my beauty tip of the day for you or of the month. But I just wanted to like chill out. It's been raining in LA. It's been kind of doom and gloom. So I just couldn't be bothered about setting up the cameras and the light and, you know, looking pretty right now. But I didn't want to miss a whole week without an episode. So here we go. Now, I don't care if you're a lawyer, a CEO, a mom, a creator, a student, whatever it is you're doing in your life, none of us are immune to burnout, especially if you're a woman. And especially if you're a woman who gives the most, tries the hardest, and carries the heaviest load. So let's talk about why we feel burnout and, more importantly, how you can take care of it and how you can get out of it. I want to start with society's expectations of women. And this is probably applicable to some men as well. But, you know, given that I am a woman and I feel some of these pressures, I'm going to speak on it from a woman's perspective. I feel that you're not just expected to be successful. You also are expected to be hot, be healed, be hustling, be soft and resilient and polite and sexually confident and nurturing. And it's just way too many things to do. And a lot of women in my life feel like they're living this double life of having to be the achiever and also the caretaker, and often with not very much support. I know that's how I can feel a lot of times. And it's partly because it's a burden I've put on myself. I, thrive in environments where I'm just excelling and I'm constantly improving and doing better. And at the same time, I also like having a very nurturing, calm, beautiful home. And at the moment, I am the only one who's providing all of that to myself. So, what this type of pressure does is it puts your system in survival mode. And if you're a woman, this means your cortisol is high, your sleep is trash, you can feel reactive and feel disconnected from your body. And I have been feeling a lot of these things lately, in between being an attorney, recording this podcast, looking pretty, looking good, still going out and meeting people and being a part of society. It feels a little bit overwhelming, but I love every single thing I do. And so it can be really hard to decide what part of my life I want to put on pause. But that's exactly what you have to do. I truly believe you can do it all and you do have the capacity, but you can't always do everything all at the same time. So you've got to make choices of what can you put on pause for the time being. And this pause can be for a few days, for a few weeks, for a few months, but you got to learn to prioritize. for me right now, being able to use my voice and getting it across to however many people are listening is the biggest priority for me. So I know that there are other things in my life that just need to take a back seat. And what those other things are is it's socializing, right? Being at every single event, networking, being out there in person is taking a bit of a toll on me. So last week I decided I am cutting my social engagements down to like one a week. So being extremely selective about who I'm giving my energy to and what spaces I choose to show up in, because it's better to show up at one or two events in a week or in a month with 100% of your energy and your magic than to be scattered and all over the place and bring like 50% of yourself somewhere, because you're not going to be memorable and people are not going to remember all of the magic of you. So it's not helping you, it's not moving the needle in your life, and you're not going to build true, real connections. So the number one thing is take a look at your life and all of the commitments you have, and what can you cut out in your day to day or in your week to week. A lot of times we have these like recurring commitments that we just, whether it's like a weekly hangout, whether it's like a social club that you're a part of, or whatever it is. And if it's not serving you right now and it's not going to harm anybody else, like, don't back out of something where people are leaning on you. I think like integrity and showing up for your community is important. But if you're able to pull back and take a break and focus on what really is priority in your life, I highly, highly suggest you do that. Second thing is like hustle culture rewards self betrayal. And I've said this before, hustle culture is over for most people. It is not for me. I really feel that when you're building something when you're building something that doesn't have a blueprint, you have to put in the work. And you have to put in the work for yourself, and you have to pour all of your love and time and energy into taking care of yourself as well. But I want to separate hustle culture from burnout. Burnout is when you're doing the most, you're available 24/7, and you're neglecting your basic needs. And it's sort of this competition and the race to the end. And you don't need to do that. In order to hustle, you don't need to be available for people all the time. You don't need to do the most, and there is time to take care of yourself. I Most of you guys have probably heard of the 80/20 rule, and I maybe apply it a little bit differently to how I manage my time. So the way to avoid burning out while you're hustling, because listen, I support the hustle. I think get after it, go do every single thing you can do to achieve your goals, but take a look at your calendar for the week, okay? And take a look at what is taking up most of your time. So if take out the 8-9 hours. I like to sleep 9 hours, but take out the time that you are spending sleeping and in recovery and rejuvenating, and look at the rest of the hours in the day. Some of those things are just unavoidable, right? Like if you want to work out, taking a shower, doing your, daily mundane chores. I like to roughly put 3 to 4 hours a day for those tasks. So I know a couple hours a day are just going to be a wash, whether it's like admin things or just the daily routine that I have to do. So if you're sleeping 8 hours and you have about 4 hours for mundane tasks, you've already filled up 12 hours of your day. Now I set another like 2 to 3 hours for food because you need to, you need fuel and nutrition. So if you add that in, now you're at like 14, 16 hours. So really your focus time is 8 hours in a day. Now, if you have a 9 to 5, those 8 hours are going to get consumed pretty quickly. So you're going to have to maneuver your mundane tasks and meal prepping. Like those are the only times that you can really squeeze in an hour or 2 hours a day to build your dream, to like do your 5 to 9 is what most people would call it. So what can you automate in your life? What is a $5 task versus a $500 task? And let me explain that. So if doing some of the mundane things like, okay, laundry every week, cleaning my apartment, cooking meals for the week, if this is taking up 5 to 6 hours a week, which it does for me, and you can pay someone to clean your place once a month and just do light maintenance and light upkeep, you're going to save so much more time, and you're going to be able to spend that time building your business, building your side hustle, which is going to be the $500 task. Hopefully it's more than 500, but just giving you an example. Now, meal prepping. I know a lot of the meal plans out there and food delivery is pretty expensive, but when you weigh out the amount of time it's saving you, and it's not just the time that it takes you to cook a meal, it also saves you a lot of mental stress and brain power that you're going to put into what am I going to eat today? What groceries do I have? Do I need to order groceries? Do I need to go pick them up? Like all of this is consuming time, literal like minutes and hours of your day, but also the space that it's taking up in your brain. So I don't, maybe I should have researched a good meal delivery plan that is cost effective and then had them sponsor me, but I didn't do that. However, you can find pretty reasonable meal delivery plans. And here's a tip, just try all of them. They all pretty much have a sign up discount, like 40% off for the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So just sign up for one and then cancel it and switch to another one. Guys, just be smart. Be like, be resourceful. It's going to save you so much more time, and you're going to get better nutrition, and thinking about food is going to be out of the equation, and you can use that time and spend it better on building and growing something. Now, lastly, a lot of high achieving women don't know how to receive. I am so often one of these women because no one really taught you how to ask for help, to trust somebody's support, to rest without guilt, and to let life just be easier sometime and let yourself rely on other people. This is a tough one for me. I'm still working on this, and I'm making a lot of effort to just, be messy and ask for help. I actually put this into action in the past couple of weeks. So I had been feeling like I'm working in isolation most of the time. And this is something that a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs feel. It's a very, very normal feeling to have, because in the beginning, you're the one who has the vision. You're the one who understands your goal, your mission, your why. And it feels almost easier to do it on your own instead of explaining it to someone, because a lot of times your own vision and end goal is still not clear. I know for me, when I started this whole platinum pussy thing, I think I can say it now because I'm more than like 2 minutes in. But when I started Platinum Pussy, it came from a place of pain. It came from a place of frustration, but I had no idea what it was gonna grow into. I started with a play. I wrote and produced and acted in a play at Hudson Theater which was really about women's sexuality, how a lot of times we don't speak up. And it was comedic, it was emotional, and I'm so proud of it. I did the play and I had no plan afterwards. And I've just landed on the podcast after trying and failing and trying and failing at a number of different things that I could do to keep growing the movement and keep growing the platform. So I'm saying this because a lot of that thinking was happening in isolation because it needed to. I needed to be with myself to get clarity on what I want to give to the world. And the isolation can feel very, very lonely. And a lot of times it makes you question, why am I even doing any of this? Is it even worth it? So, one of the things I've been working on is bringing my friends along for the ride, bringing my family, my loved ones, people who I respect, my mentors, my coaches, is letting them into my struggles, my doubts, and talking things out with them. Sometimes just to be heard. I don't always want an opinion. And this is something you need to make clear to people. When you're asking for help, you need to be clear about what you need. So, for example, last week I reached out to one of my closest friends, and she is typically very attuned to moments in my life when I'm struggling because we've known each other for 8 years, and she knows my tendency to just be strong and figure it out on my own and not be a burden to anybody else, because that's what it can feel like to me sometimes. So last week I picked up the phone and I called her and I let her know that, hey, I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm struggling a little bit to find clarity and direction and to organize my own life. And I'm just letting you know that I might have moments of burnout. And if I do, I will reach out to you. So if I call you twice, please call me back. It means it's urgent, it's important, or leave me a voice note. Just check in on me right now because I could use the help. And really, I don't need you to resolve things in my life. I don't really need you to come with solutions. I just need to be heard. I just need the support. They say there's 3 different forms of help that you can ask for. It's you either need a solution, or you need support, or you need space. This is something that I've heard a lot in couples therapy about how couples communicate to each other. So it's typically they want support, they want a solution, or they want space. And for me right now, the thing I need is support. I just need people to be cheering me on and reminding me that I've got this, I can do this, and also I'm allowed to take a day off, which is kind of what I'm doing today because I'm just lounging and recording this for you. So I want you to apply this in your own life. Look at your support system, whether it's your friends, mentors, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, and communicate to them that, you're feeling like your glass is pretty full, and the way and the method and how often you need their support. And then, you know what? You just leave it up to them. If they show up for you, they show up. If they don't, they don't. Have a backup for yourself. This is my last resort solution for you. And this last resort solution is something that I've had to use quite often in my life, and that is okay. So have a backup. For me, that backup is wellness studios. And I feel fortunate enough that I can afford them because goddamn, they are so fucking expensive. So whoever said money can't buy you happiness, I don't know. Money can definitely buy you peace when the people in your life can't. I stand by that 100%. So I love going to a sound bath, sitting in the red light sauna, and my absolute favorite is doing the float. And that's like this, the deprivation tanks with like water and there's no light and you're just floating and feel just invincible, and all the thoughts, all the outside thoughts just shut down, and it's just you and your own mind. And eventually, when you're in there long enough, all the thoughts will come and go and you will just get clarity. So I love that stuff. It can be a little pricey, but find your own way to have backup. It doesn't need to be super expensive. Find local studios where they have meditation, sound baths. There are also a lot of online communities that I have found back in the day when I couldn't afford these things, when I was in law school and paying my way through school. There are meditation communities online. Facebook is one of the best places to find them. So join one of these communities that have like weekly Zoom meditations, and you'll feel the support, you'll feel the energy. A lot of times there's hundreds of people joining in, just holding space for each other. And at times it can be like a guided meditation, or you just sit there silently with your thoughts. So try out different things. Try out different things before you hit burnout so you know what works for you. My last piece of advice to you on getting out of burnout and regulating yourself is make pleasure part of your routine. Okay, you guys, what if you looked at pleasure like medicine? Because feeling good is how you rebuild your power. And yes, I'm talking about sexual pleasure and sexual play with yourself. We've all done it. We've all been there. There is no shame in it. So have a little fun with yourself, with your own body. Figure out the best tools, the best stimulation that gets you off and that gets you excited, because you really need to figure out how to get back into your body and feel excited and feel sexy. Let me tell you, when I am the most stressed, nothing can make me feel better than getting off. And nothing feels better than getting off to yourself by yourself. If you disagree, I know you're fucking lying, because it is the most empowering thing in the world, where you don't need anybody else. You need your mind and your body and your sexuality. And it is the ultimate form of freedom. And if you're someone who's not comfortable with this, because I certainly know that in the South Asian community and just a lot of women that I know in a lot of different, spaces, and how they were brought up and the conversations around sex, it feels like a very sinful thing, or it's not something you're comfortable with. If that is you, I still have a solution for you. You guys, dance. There's nothing wrong with dance. I feel so sexy and powerful when I put on my heels, I do my hair, I look good, and I go dance in heels. It is extremely sensual. It is so powerful. And I'm here in LA, so I am blessed to be in a city where there are some of the best dance studios in the US, in my opinion. But wherever you are, I have noticed like sensual dancing, vixen dance, studios opening up like across the US and internationally as well. So find a dance studio in your city and look good, dress up like you're going on a date, and look at yourself in the mirror and just feel how powerful your body is and how attractive it is. I know there's also like aerial yoga. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks extremely sensual, very connected to your body. Dance is known scientifically and proven to bring you back to yourself. So whatever form of dance you like, hip hop, heels, jazz, modern, flow, go take a dance class. It will never fail you, and it's always going to make you feel uplifted. And being around other people in movement is the most beautiful thing that you can do for yourself. So, as a recap, ask for help, come back to your body, clear out your schedule, automate the things that you're able to automate, and bring pleasure back into your life and back into your body. I just want to remind you that you're not burnt out because you're weak. You're burnt out because you've been operating like an entire corporation with 0 staff. You're the talent, you're the CEO, you're the HR, you're the customer service, and you deserve a break, you deserve a breath. And in the beginning, yes, you have to fill all of those roles. I have been doing that for myself for a very, very long time, but this is usually what happens when I'm starting a new project and I'm going full throttle is I'm trying to do everything myself because I need to get a taste of what it's like to do each task before I can delegate it. And it also helps me value the people that I delegate it to because I've tried it myself and I know exactly how hard it is. And then it's easy for me to put a dollar amount on that task, on outsourcing that task, right? So you need to take a breath, take a step back, evaluate everything you're doing, but keep going. Do not give up. Make changes, make your life easier. Pivot. Gosh, like pivot is the word for me for 2025 and going into 2026. And again, as an example, I was not in the mood to get all dressed up and put on cameras and then, do the whole big shebang of the podcast. But that doesn't mean I can't record a meaningful episode for you guys. Like, I'm still going to allow myself to do things imperfectly, but still do them. And I want you guys to do the same thing. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling burnt out or overwhelmed, take a breath, take a day, take a week or however long you need, but then keep on it, keep on your vision and your goals. Just moderate and change how you do them. You don't need to come back to things exactly the way they were before you felt like a burnout. Just do it the way that feels good to you, and it's going to keep you excited and keep you full of joy. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I wanted to share with you guys as I'm resetting and trying new things with the podcast. I also would love your guys' feedback of like what really resonates with you a lot. Like if I can get away with doing audio only, I might just do it for some time and maybe make shorter videos on specific topics. But for now, this is where I'm at, and next week might be different and I might have like my full energy back and my calendar might look a little more open. So, just keep flowing in the direction that you want to go. Don't come to a complete halt. Just take a slow down and do what feels good to you. Ask people around you for help. And lastly, if none of those things are working, get out of your environment, go to a different space. Maybe you need to be around different people in a different city. There is no better reset than being in a completely different environment where you get to decide how you want your days to look. And that's what I'm about to do. The next time you listen to this podcast, I might be in a completely different city. Stay tuned to find out. And until then, stay platinum. I love you guys.